A baby horse walks within an hour of being born. A baby giraffe stands up in 30 minutes. Sea turtles hatch alone on a beach and, with zero guidance, immediately sprint toward the ocean while birds try to eat them alive. And then there's us. A human baby can't hold its own head up, can't feed itself, can't regulate its own temperature, can't do anything. Leave a newborn alone for a few hours, and it dies. We became the most dominant species to ever walk this planet. We built cities, split the atom, and landed machines on other worlds. But somehow, our babies are basically helpless potatoes. So what went wrong? Was this a mistake? A glitch in evolution? It all starts with your brain. The human brain is absurdly oversized. It weighs about 3 pounds and burns roughly 20% of your body's total energy, despite being a tiny fraction of your body weight. No other primate comes close. That brain is the reason we have language, culture, tools, civilization. But that same brain almost made human birth impossible. Here's the problem. Around 6 to 7 million years ago, our ancestors stood up. Walking on 2 legs was a revolutionary upgrade, but it came with a brutal side effect. It completely reshaped the human pelvis. A pelvis built for efficient upright walking is narrow, bowl-shaped, perfect for movement, absolutely terrible for pushing out a baby with an enormous skull. Anthropologists call this the obstetric dilemma. Humans evolved 2 traits that directly fight each other: bigger brains, narrower hips. For millions of years, these 2 forces were on a collision course, and eventually, evolution hit a wall. So it did something radical. It started evicting babies early. Human babies aren't born premature in the medical sense, but developmentally, they're nowhere near finished. If a human baby stayed in the womb until its brain was developed enough to function independently, pregnancy wouldn't last 9 months. It would last 18 to 21 months. And at that point, the baby's head would never fit through the birth canal. So evolution made a deal. Get the baby out early. Finish building it on the outside. Which sounds insane, but it worked. Human babies are essentially external fetuses. For the entire first year of life, massive amounts of brain development are still happening outside the womb. That's why newborns sleep constantly. Their brains are growing at a terrifying speed, nearly doubling in size within the first 12 months. But here's where it gets really interesting. A baby deer is born knowing how to stand. A spider never went to web spinning school. Most animals come pre-programmed. Their survival software is already installed at birth. Humans took a completely different path. Instead of hard-coding behavior into instinct, evolution made humans blank, unfinished, waiting. A human baby's brain arrives underdeveloped on purpose because it's waiting to absorb the world around it. Language, culture, social rules, survival strategies. All of it gets downloaded after birth, directly from the environment. Humans didn't just evolve bigger brains, they evolved the ability to learn. And learning requires something most animals never get: time. And that time came at a cost. Human babies are exhausting. They cry more than any other primate. They wake up at night constantly. They can't cling to fur like baby monkeys. They have to be carried everywhere. They need feeding around the clock. Most animals solve childcare simply. The mother handles it alone for a while, and the offspring moves on. That strategy was completely impossible for humans. So our species did something almost no other animal does. We started raising children together. Grandparents helped. Fathers helped. Aunts, uncles, siblings, and even unrelated members of the group all pitched in. Anthropologists call this cooperative breeding, and humans are one of the only species on Earth that does it at this scale. Some researchers believe this permanently rewired human psychology. We became deeply social, fiercely empathetic creatures, partly because a single parent could never keep a helpless human baby alive alone. Your social brain? Your ability to feel what others feel? It might exist because babies were such an overwhelming burden that survival required a village. And then there's one more trick evolution pulled. Babies are cute. That's not just an observation, it's a biological weapon. In the 1940s, scientist Konrad Lorenz identified something called baby schema. Oversized eyes, round cheeks, tiny nose, large forehead. But here's the part that should genuinely blow your mind. For a long time, scientists assumed human intelligence caused long childhoods. Now researchers think it works the other way around. Long childhoods create intelligence. When a brain spends years learning instead of running on pure instinct, human children play for years. And play isn't wasted time. Play is the brain running simulations. Children learn language, social rules, cooperation, creativity, and problem-solving through endless experimentation. It all traces back to one dangerous compromise made millions of years ago. Our brains got too big. Our hips got too narrow. And evolution responded by making humans the most unfinished animals on Earth. Every civilization ever built, every scientific discovery ever made, every empire, every religion, every work of art, every rocket launched into space. All of it came from a species whose babies cannot survive a single night alone. Not because evolution failed us, but because that helplessness gave us something no other animal ever had. Time to learn. Time to adapt. Time to become something the universe had never seen before. And it started with a baby that couldn't even lift its own head.